Hey, what's up, guys? Here on the Fire Sports Pod, where everything we do here is fire. You guys know the drill. Let's get right to the show I have for you guys today here on Recap Monday, Season 4, Episode number 2. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed the weather. If you're in New Jersey, man, it was a heat wave the last week, this weekend, into this week. But we stay cool. Stay good, stay ready, and let's get into some sports talk. Going to stick with the NFL today for Recap Monday. Again, we'll go over a little before we start our real segment. We'll just go over what happened in the sports world over the weekend. You had the Yankees wrap up a series with the Braves. Stanton got hurt. He has now went on the IL with an injury to his hamstring. The Yankees eventually lose the series to the Braves last night, 1-2. Judge came back, has been much better. He's had a historic year so far, batting, I believe, 299 or 301, 28 home runs, over 70 RBIs. OPS is over 1,000. It is ridiculous on how well he's doing. Juan Soto's been having a great year, but the Yankees have been slipping a little bit. We still got one of the best records in the MLB with, I believe, a 51 or 52 and 28 record. Still one of the tops of the tops, if not the top still. But at the same facet, we haven't been as consistently good when it comes to pitching. Gil has gotten crushed with some hits. Nestor Cortez has been getting hit a lot. Roldan has got hit. Garrett Cole will be starting for us, I believe, tomorrow, coming on Tuesday, which starts up the Subway Series between the Yanks and the Mets. Can't wait for that. It's going to be one hell of a day and one hell of a series. Cannot wait for the Subway Series starting out tomorrow with the Mets. Can't wait. So that goes with some Yankee stuff and some MLB content here. Again, you have some standards the Yankees got to meet this year. If we don't do anything this year, Boone might be out the door. A lot of things have probably be different. Going into the NBA, we already heard the new JJ Redick is the new hire of the Lakers coach. We'll see how well the Warriors do. A lot of talk is saying that Klay Thompson might be going to Dallas. Maybe he stays with the Warriors. Maybe he takes a shot at the Lakers. There's a lot of different teams in the swing of things. Personally, I think Klay Thompson stays with the Warriors one more year to run it back with the same squad, and then next year, if they don't do that much or really anything, then they'll break the big three up, and we'll see where Klay Thompson ends up. But I would like to see him in Dallas. It would be cool to see Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, and Luka. The only problem with that is that the ball is in Luka's hands all the time, and then you got Kyrie, and then Klay Thompson. He's usually the second option, is Klay Thompson on the Warriors right now, not the third option. So we'll see how that goes with him. Other than that, Pistons are looking for a new head coach as they fired Monte Williams. They signed Malik Monk. We had a big signing today. Actually, I have it here on my phone. The big signing today is Raptors. Scotty Barnes has agreed to a 5-year extension worth up to $270 million. Will be the highest paid player in Raptors history. As well as more news, the Cavaliers hire Warriors assistant. Hold on. Warriors assistant Kenny Atkinson as head coach. Former Nets boss replaces J.B. Bickerstaff. Like I said, Yankees have pushed Giancarlo Stanton on the IL with a hamstring injury, latest setback for the slugger. And more news: why the Hawks should really kind of just get rid of Trae Young and move on and try to get some different stuff. I won't wholeheartedly agree with that. I think Trae Young's time in Atlanta is kind of over, and I really do think that it's kind of over. So I think the time in Atlanta is over, and the experiment with Trae Young. I would like to see if the Lakers can get a hand on Trae Young as a bona fide point guard. But we got a lot movement of that doing. And then we're going to just go into the NFL. So now we've kind of just went through the first 5 minutes of our show, kind of just going semiotic, just going over what's happening around the sports world with the NBA, the MLB, and then the NHL tonight. Stanley Cup Finals, Game 7 tonight in Florida. make your picks. I just made my pick on my TikTok, so go take a look at the Fire Sports Pod. I also did see someone unsubscribe from the channel. What you doing, man? You gotta stay along, but we'll see him later on. He'll definitely resubscribe. Just how big this podcast is going to get from the foreseeable future. Cannot wait. Manifesting it. Cannot wait to see how I'm looking 10 years down the road with this. But let's get right into our actual segment here on the Fire Sports Pod. We're 5 minutes and 30 seconds into the show, and we're going to be going over NFL quarterbacks. I know that a couple months ago we went over some NFL quarterbacks and such like that, but really now I'm going to go over which quarterback do I think should be starting out. We're going to go from from 32, so which is the Denver Broncos. Now, they have a bit of a conundrum. They could either pick Jared Stidham or Bo Nix. Now, they took Bo Nix in the 12th overall in the 2024 NFL Draft and will be the Broncos starter at some point, but that point might not be immediate. Now, Stidham just hasn't been good to this point in his NFL career. He has one season where he earned a passing grade of above a 56, and his NFL resume includes just 2 big-time throws to 8 turnover-worthy plays. Nick's experience and efficiency at Oregon could help him break through quickly, though his adjustment from the Ducks' offense to NFL situations could be a challenge. Personally, if I'm Denver, I would take and go with Bo Nix. I think them saying that Bo Nix is more accurate. I like the chances of having Bo Nix as my quarterback than Jared Stidham. I don't think Jared Stidham. I think for the first 2 or 3 games, you take Jared Stidham. See how Bo Nix gets into the flow. But if he's ready by week 1, start Bo Nix. I think Denver's going to have a good shot at being competitive, not doing really much with Bo Nix rather than Jared Stidham. So that's my thing on the Denver Broncos. Now you go to the Sam Darnold and J.J. McCarthy of the Minnesota Vikings. Now this is going to be a flip. I'm taking Sam Darnold to be the starter. I'm going to take Sam Darnold to be the starter for Minnesota for the first 6 or 7 weeks or so. And then as you work J.J. McCarthy into the flow, I think he'll be a solid starter for the back end of the season. And you're really not going to do that much. But again, Sam Darnold is still not a bad quarterback to be your starter / backup for. Well, right now he's going to be your starter. But after that, as your backup, especially a veteran quarterback, has been under the fire, been thrown under the bus with the Jets organization and New York and all that stuff. So it's great to have him in the locker room, especially with a rookie in J.J. McCarthy. But I think Sam Darnold starts for the first 7 or 8 weeks, and then J.J. McCarthy gets the last 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season to get into the flow of things. And then the next season, they'll be good to go. But we'll see where it happens. But I think Minnesota goes with Sam Darnold and then puts J.J. McCarthy later in the season. And then you go to number 30, which is the Las Vegas Raiders. You have Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. This is not even a question. I'm taking Gardner Minshew to start over Aiden O'Connell all day, every day. Minshew proved last season with the Colts he's a proven player. He can get the job done as a starter in place of Anthony Richardson. I think Gardner Minshew is the right guy to do it for Vegas. I think he's got that charisma. He's got that attitude. I like the way he plays. I take Gardner Minshew to be the starter for the Las Vegas Raiders coming into this season. Daniel Jones of the New York Giants. Now, Daniel Jones is kind of in a tier. This was all tier 7. So these are all tier 7 quarterbacks. Now, Daniel Jones has no competition as a starter. He's going to be the starter. But the problem with him, he's not accurate. He turns the ball over too much. When I mean accurate, I mean he doesn't throw smart passes to the right receiver. He throws it over his head through the ground. Turns the ball over interception-wise and fumbles. He takes a lot of sacks. He doesn't use his legs all the time, which he should because he has plenty of opportunities, and he's too scared in the pocket. He's too worried about everything else. Yes, granted, his offensive line is horrible. The Giants organization is terrible. He's not a bad quarterback. He's an okay quarterback. He's not above average. He's not an average. He's an okay, a little bit below average quarterback. But he fits the Giants system if they just put the right pieces around him. Now, without no Saquon. Now it's just a shitty-ass offense. The wide receiving core is horrible. The running back is terrible. We'll see how well he does. I do not expect a great year from the Giants and a great year out of Daniel Jones. This is his last year in New York. I think they move on and get a rookie quarterback next draft, or they trade for a quarterback. Now, tier 6, Will Levis. He showed some promising things in Tennessee. I think he's definitely the starter coming this year. I like his swag. I like his different stuff. But again, he's got a little bit turnover friendly throwing arm. He doesn't get rid of the ball fast enough sometimes and really jumps into mistakes. But I think he'll be okay. I just don't think the Titans have a good enough team around him. Jaden Daniels of Washington. Now, Jaden Daniels most likely will be the starter. I don't think there's really any threat for him. A dual threat quarterback similar to Lamar Jackson. He's going to be great. I think he's going to be the best player out of the quarterback out of his draft class. Better than Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be the best one there. But it's going to take him time to develop. It's not this year, maybe not next year, maybe the year after that. And then I think the stretch of Jaden Daniels is going to be for real. Now, Jacoby Brissett or Drake May for the Patriots. I think you definitely have to start Jacoby Brissett in place of Drake May, because Jacoby is a proven backup, a proven quarterback, a veteran quarterback that can get the job done in certain situations. Have him learn from him, even maybe sit him the whole year or let him play the last couple games. But I think Jacoby Brissett kind of plays or starts most of the year, and then they implement Drake May into the situation, and then he takes it from there. Now, Bryce Young of the Carolina Panthers, blatantly obvious, he needs help at the offensive line position. Wide receiver, they only have Adam Thielen, really. He definitely needs big-time help in Carolina. If they don't shore up that offensive line, they don't help him out, he's not going to last that long. Now, Anthony Richardson. This is all the next generation in tier 6. Anthony Richardson, he's going to be a great talent. I think he's going to be similar to Cam Newton. I think he's got a bigger arm, a stronger arm, and I think he runs a little bit faster than Cam Newton. But I like his style of play. I like him. He's going to be a good player. He just got to stay healthy. Deshaun Watson of the Cleveland Browns. It really depends on how his injuries have healed. Can he be back to that Houston days of being consistency, a thrower / a runner, dual threat quarterback? I don't think that Deshaun is coming back, but can he be a better pocket thrower? Can he be the engine that runs the Cleveland Browns? I think so. I think Cleveland's got a good quarterback in Deshaun Watson. He's just got to stay out of trouble, what he's done, and stay injury-free, and they'll be good to go. Now, Russell Wilson, Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this was a crazy trade, crazy offseason where Russell Wilson went from the Broncos to the Steelers, in the whole big controversy with the Broncos, them not paying him, this, that, and the other thing, him not playing well, him getting benched. Russell Wilson, the Steelers, I think is a great one. I think Russell Wilson will be fine in Pittsburgh. I think they're there. I think they're going to be one of the big strong houses in the AFC with Russell Wilson. And if Russell Wilson not the answer, you got Justin Fields, and a guy that I really love and I really think is going to do well in the NFL. He just got to get a shot. Derek Carr of the Saints, they're okay. I don't think Derek Carr is going to show us that much. I think his ceiling's already been met. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's exciting, whatever. I could be totally wrong. I love Derek Carr. I like his attitude. I like his demeanor. I think he's a great veteran quarterback, a good veteran quarterback, I should say. But he's not at that tier of like a Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers type one. He's definitely really below that. That's why he's in 21st. So that's my thing on Derek Carr. He's just got to stay healthy. Baker Mayfield, this is tier 5 of Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. This is the can single-handedly win and lose games, pretty much. Baker Mayfield, you saw in the playoffs, basically single-handedly lost their game. They had a drive, and he threw an interception in the playoffs against the Lions, and they lost. But I think with the big contract that he got, I finally saw something last year. Baker Mayfield is a guy that can win you games. He's also a guy that can lose you games. But more in all, he's going to win you games. And I think the Bucs did him well with paying him that much. He's deserved it. He's played well. The only one that said Baker Mayfield wasn't going to be a bust after the whole thing with Cleveland in the beginning. And then after that, Baker Mayfield just needed a shot. And he got one with Tampa Bay, and now he's there for a while. Caleb Williams with Chicago. I definitely would not have Caleb Williams over whatever, but again, they're just the offense that they have around him is ridiculous. That's why I wanted Justin Fields to stay in Chicago, because I think he could have flourished big time this season. And then if he's not there, you move Justin Fields somewhere else next season. Then Caleb Williams is already there, learns from Justin Fields or learns the quarterback position more better, and then you don't throw him under the fire. And then everybody has a season under them. They know the playbook, and it's just not all new. Right now, it's all new. And I think they have a potential of being really good, this team, and Caleb Williams does, but I don't believe in Caleb Williams that much. I think he's going to be the bust of the NFL this draft. Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks. I think he's a proven veteran. He's been through the roughs of the roughs, and he finally got a team that loves him and the franchise and fan base that really likes him. And I think Geno Smith is going to take Seattle to different heights this coming year and for the foreseeable of his career. Kyle Murray, I think after he came back from his ACL tear from the previous season, I think he's going to come back to an MVP caliber season. I think Kyle Murray still got what it takes. I know his team's not as great, but I think him being a dual threat quarterback, his arm, his accuracy, his arm talent, his mobility is going to come back, and I think he's going to be a much better player. Jared Goff, on the other hand, Detroit, I can't really say anything wrong about Detroit. They made it all the way to the NFC Championship, and they were one crazy play away from winning that game. If it didn't happen, if San Fran wouldn't have scored that touchdown off of Brandon Ayuk tip drill, I think Detroit wins and walks into the Super Bowl. Gonna play the Kansas City Chiefs. But I think Jared Goff's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Passer rating was great. His interception, interception to touchdown ratio wasn't that bad either. I think Jared Goff is going to have another great season. Kirk Cousins, I don't know, man. Coming off that Achilles tear, just like Aaron Rodgers, you got to see. Who knows? Kirk Cousins is 36 years old. He's not young. We'll see if that has anything to do and hinders his ability to throw the football and be an accurate as he was with Minnesota. Because I think if Kurt doesn't get hurt, I think Minnesota is one of those top teams in the NFC East. I think they were on pace. Once he got hurt, that was pretty much it. And then Justin Jefferson was like, "Why am I going to kill myself if my main quarterback is not there?" I totally agree. And then you got Tua. I don't think Tua's all great. I've been saying it. He's too afraid in the pocket. After those concussions, he could have died. He could have been paralyzed. He's too afraid in the pocket. He slimmed down, whatever the case is. I don't think he's a product of his wide receivers. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's going to have that good of a season this year. And I don't think the Dolphins will get to the playoffs because of their roster, but it's not because of Tua. Brock Purdy in San Francisco, he's one of the best quarterbacks. I'm sorry, you got to give him his flowers. He's Mr. Relevant for a reason. No one saw this kid coming, and now he's running the show in San Francisco, and he's got basically, other than Kansas City, the best team in the NFL behind Kansas City. Trevor Lawrence, I think they paid him way too much money. They gave him a monster over $200 million contract. Definitely does not deserve it. I know he was one of the biggest talents coming out of the college football, saying he's going to be the next this, that, and the other thing. Well, that hasn't happened so far. And his turnovers have been bad. His playoff run has been horrible. So I don't really think he's that good. But he definitely deserves to be in tier 4, but he's definitely not 12 for me. I would have him below Brock Purdy and a little higher than Tua. So at 13, I would have him, and I have Brock Purdy at 12. Jordan Love, he kicked the ass of my Cowboys, so I can't really say anything bad about him. Green Bay's got a stud in Jordan Love, and who would have thought that Aaron Rodgers really didn't like the pick that they did? Well, they trusted their gut, and it paid off at the end. So this is the melting pot of starters. This is tier 4. I think Jordan Love's going to have another phenomenal season. Now we get to the top 10. C.J. Stroud. I like C.J. at 10. I think C.J. at 10 is good. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback right now. But let's see where he's at. Jalen Hurts. He made it to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar. I like that. I'll keep CJ at 10. I know on my other podcast last week I said I would have, or 2 weeks ago I said I would have CJ at like 3. I would if we're just talking about quarterback and one game to win. But if we're talking about a whole season, I would have CJ at 10. He's going to have another phenomenal year. I was the one that told CJ was going to be one of the best quarterbacks out of his draft class, if not the best, and he has proved me right. At number 9, you have Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen at 9. If I was going to put anything, I would put Jalen Hurts at 10, CJ at 9. But I like Jalen Hurts at 9. He took his team to the Super Bowl. I love the dude. Hate the team he's on. Respect the hell out of the kid, though. The guy, Jalen Hurts, is a competitor, a fierce competitor, a monster quarterback. I just think he needs to stay healthy. If he stays healthy this year, everything will be fine for Philadelphia. They got the defense. Their defense is better than last year. Their offense is still really good. They just got to get consistency. Aaron Rodgers of the Jets. We couldn't see nothing from Aaron Rodgers last year. He got hurt in the first 4 plays, tore his Achilles in the first 4 plays of their opening day against Buffalo in New York. Can't wait to see him back on the field. I think Rodgers is going to give the Jets a big MVP type season and is going to take them deep into the playoffs. I got Aaron Rodgers doing really well this year. Matthew Stafford of the Los Angeles Rams. He's getting older, man. Nothing's getting younger for this guy, but man, this guy is one of the most competitive quarterbacks in the league. He's one of the most fiercest quarterbacks in the league. No fear. This man will run into a train for you if you're on his team. This guy is not afraid of anything, and that's what I love about Matthew Stafford. No matter what the case is, and no matter what the situation, he's given all effort. 120% of the time. I think Matthew Stafford and the Rams are going to have a bounce back year. Offensively, defensively, I don't know. They got to shore up some things, but offensively, I think they're going to have a pretty good year. I think Matthew Stafford, like I said, with a lot of these quarterbacks, as long as he stays healthy, everything will be fine. Problem is his health. Again, the best availability is availability. If you're not available, then you suck. Dak Prescott at 6. I like him at 6. Again, Dak Prescott had an MVP type regular season last year. He was in the runners-up, but just then folded in the playoffs like he always does. He's got to be able to get it done when it matters most in those big games, especially in the playoffs. We got murdered against Green Bay in Dallas last year. Hopefully it changes the narrative this year. But I have a funny feeling it's not. We got a tough-ass schedule for our Cowboys fans, so we'll see how well Dak Prescott and the Cowboys do. But we'll see against those good teams. If we beat the good teams, we'll be fine. If we lose to the good teams, then it's going to be another same thing, same year, 12-4, 12-5 type of a year, and then just a bounce in the first or second round. Justin Herbert. Now, tier 3, these are the tier 3s we just said, which is CJ, Jalen, Aaron, Matt, Dak, Justin. That's postseason caliber quarterbacks. I believe it. Now you have tier 2, which is the elite, which starts with Josh Allen at the 4 spot for the Buffalo Bills. Again, he has no Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis is gone, but he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Despite all the things that happened, he's a dual threat quarterback, another fierce competitor, another fierce quarterback. He's not afraid of nothing. Will run you over, will run through a brick wall to get to that end zone or that first down or to help you as a team. But Josh Allen's still one of the best talents in the NFL, but he's at 4 because it's his playoff success as well as just he's in big games. He doesn't. Sometimes he comes to play. Sometimes he doesn't. And really, I got to blame his team sometimes. His team doesn't come to play for him. Joe Burrow at 3. Some can argue he's at 2. But I got him at 3. Cincinnati, he's in the top 2 tier of elite. This man, when he is not injured, he is one of the best, if not the second best quarterback in the league behind Patrick Mahomes. He has owned Patrick Mahomes in Cincinnati or in Arrowhead. Joe Burrow is the real deal for Cincinnati, and you can never count them out as long as Joe Burrow is healthy. But the way Trevor Lawrence was put out to be, Joe Burrow was put out like that. The way Joe Burrow has been playing is the way Trevor Lawrence should be, but he's not. So we'll see what happens. But Joe Burrow, if stays healthy, he's the second best quarterback in the league. Lamar Jackson, MVP, 2-time MVP, had it last year. The man's a monster, dual threat quarterback, can do it all. Throw downfield, much more accurate this year with the passing game. He was throwing dots after dots into tight windows without Mark Andrews for most of the year. I got to give it to him. The Ravens, they ran into Patrick Mahomes. It's tough to beat that team, but you're going to have to go through that team to get to the promised land, which is the Super Bowl. So I think the Ravens are going to be there in the top of the AFC again. They got basically the same team. They got better. They added Derrick Henry. I mean, holy crap, that's going to be a one monster running game in Derrick Henry there in the backfield with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, not to mention all the other running backs that they have. And then tier one, as we all know, it's the tier one. It's called the Mahomes because he's the only one there. Patrick Mahomes is the number one quarterback in the NFL. And 2023 wasn't Mahomes' best year by the numbers, but after back-to-back Super Bowls with one of his least talented supporting cast, we're not going to even entertain overthinking this one. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, and it's not even close. This man is going for a three-peat this year. I don't think the last time we had a three-peat was back to 2000, and I don't know. No, we've never had a three-peat, I believe. Actually, let me check. Have we ever had a three-peat? No team in the Super Bowl era has ever three-peated. Technically, the Green Bay Packers won the last NFC Championship game in 1965 and the first two Super Bowls in 1966 and 1967. MLB has 4 three-peats. So no, we have never had a three-peat. We've had a two-peat, which back in 2003, 2004, I believe was the New England Patriots the last time. The Kansas City Chiefs were the most recent, obviously. And then the New England Patriots back in 2003, 2004 for the first, for the last one before this one with Kansas City to get a three-peat, to get a two-peat. So it was about 20 to 21 years it took for a two-peat, which Kansas City just did that this year. And now for a three-peat, Jesus. It'll be the first time in NFL history a team has ever did a three-peat, and it would be Patrick Mahomes again. And if that don't tell him he's got 3 chips, that's that. Oh no, he's got 3 already. I believe. Yeah, he's got 3 already. So if you look at that, I mean, he won against Philly. He won against the 49ers. And then he won against the 49ers. He won against the 49ers the first one. Then he won against Philly. Then the 49ers again. That's 3. He can be going for his 4th Super Bowl. And he could be getting a three-peat. If that don't make you one of the best NFL quarterbacks, if not the best, I don't know what will. I think catching Brady. If he catches Brady, if he wins this one and gets a three-peat and then catches Brady on top of that, no one's going to beat that dude. Patrick Mahomes will be considered the best quarterback in NFL history by far. If he gets a three-peat and then tops Brady or ties Brady with Super Bowls, it's going to be absurd. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. That's the tiers of all 32 quarterbacks. Those are all the 7 tiers that we had for ranking all the quarterbacks going into this year and which quarterbacks I think are going to start over which. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for my show here today on the Fire Sports Pod here on Recap Monday on Season 4, Episode 2. I appreciate all the support out there. Again, don't forget to check me out on TikTok at the Fire Sports Pod, Instagram, the Fire Sports Pod, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, the Fire Sports Pod. Don't forget to check me out. Drop a follow, drop a like, and drop a comment and share. Like, do all what you got to do. Keep getting this feed up. Keep giving me my support, please. I appreciate it all. And thanks again for all my followers out there. Appreciate you guys. And I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. We'll have a special guest on Wednesday and most likely Friday, so tune into that. I'll catch you guys then. Peace out. Have a great rest of your Monday afternoon, and I'll catch you guys on Wednesday. Peace.